Hello and welcome to the Invictus Racing League IRL F1 League. It's Monday night, it's 8 p.m, which means it's Gareth and Sab in the commentary box. Sab, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I can't believe we're already into the third race of the season, and so far it's been dominated by Jumper Line. And once again, last week he picked up his second race victory. He even claimed the pole position in qualifying, so he's certainly the man with the biggest target on his back at the moment. We've got Boy Better Know back this week, so hopefully for his sake he'll be able to challenge at the near front, and the likes of White Fountain and Warrisland and Charlie, a few others who we've all seen going well so far, but John Plan just been slightly that bit quicker, and we've also got a couple of new guys in tonight.
We have indeed, and we have a couple of new drivers. So we do welcome TNF, Owen B and Hercules to the league, to the evening, and we hope you enjoy your time here, boys, and you're equally as successful as a lot of the drivers you'll be racing against tonight. And as you say, Sab, one of those being Jump Line, and the Finnish driver in the Racing Point who has taken the first two races of the season. But we are here in Britain for the Grand Prix around Silverstone. It's one of the most iconic circuits on the F1 calendar. 18 turns, the home of British motorsport, 5.8 kilometres, 3.6 miles, the fourth longest on the F1 calendar. 66% of the lap is at full throttle. It's the new layout, of course, used since 2011 when the circuit was redesigned. 48 gear changes over the lap distance. That's 1,624 over a 50% race distance tonight. And it's the longest pit lane on the F1 calendar, and equally it's very, very slow. So watch out for those guys to get tonight, getting it slowed down for the pit entry, and equally launching themselves up the hill on the exit of the pit exit. So Sab, it's Silverstone back on the calendar. Missed it last season. Are you excited to have it back?
I am. I do like Silverstone, and there's so many iconic corners, isn't there, at this track? And I think there's also plenty of opportunities to get overtakes done around here. So hopefully tonight, Silverstone can provide us with a great race for these guys. As we can see now, we've just got into the qualifying session, and it's blue skies with a scattering of clouds, but it looks dry for the guys out there at the moment. So imagine they'll be heading out shortly, presumably on some hard tyres or maybe medium tyres, just get a feel for the track. But yeah, 17 cars out there tonight. It should be a good one.
Well, you'd like to think so. We've had two fantastic openers to start the weekend and start the season. Sorry, and before the race, I heard you were tipping Charlie to do well tonight.
don't, because Charlie will get me in trouble. So I'm not tipping anybody tonight because I do not want to jinx anybody whatsoever. But as we see now, we see some of them heading out now. TNF Owen, he's in the Williams, one of the new guys. He's already out there now on the soft tyre, and it looks like at the moment quite a few people are heading out on those soft tyres, so nobody at all looking like they are thinking about taking it easy and seeing the long-term game. So, like you've pointed out a few times, are we looking at potential rain for the race? Who knows? You know how bad our predictions are, but at the moment, most people who are on the outlaps are on there on the soft tyre.
Well, I've just had a note from one of the guys looking at the weather radar. He is saying it's a dry qualifying session, as we can see under the sunshine in Northamptonshire, and we are expecting a dry race indeed. So, as you can see, the majority of the field all going for that softest compounded tyre. We've only got Foxy Red and Speed Queen that are currently sitting in the pit lane, but have put on a hardest compounded tyre. So everyone else out there that have gone out has gone out on that red-walled soft tyre, looking for the quickest and optimum lap time when it comes to qualifying, getting yourself at the head of the field, heading down towards Abbey on lap 1. And we've got yellow in sector 3, possibly just a slow car. We're on board with Sam Pepito in the Haas. He was actually the last race winner here for what was the F1 No Assist League a few seasons ago. So Sam, no stranger to the top step in Silverstone.
It's easier said, isn't it? Yeah, Sam. As we've seen in no assists last season, he was always on that podium and always fighting for race victories. It'd be interesting to see how he gets along tonight. He's not had the best of starts to this season so far, but still early days in the season with only 2 races gone. So I imagine Sam will be right up there. I've probably just put the jinx on him, but yeah, I imagine him and his teammate, the Haas team, to go well here tonight, because White Fountain, we can usually see him pull a lap out the bag, as I'm currently on board at the moment with the Racing Point of John Polainen, the man who everybody's keeping an eye on a minute. He's out there on a set of softs like most people at the moment, and he's just now starting his first flying lap.
And yeah, it is everyone out on track now, so everyone's on the out lap or on a flyer, so it's a particularly busy track surface at the moment, so hopefully no one will trip up over each other in the opening minutes of the session. Sam going wide there on the exit of Vale, and it's now going to be, as Owen does the first flying lap, it's a 1:27.4 for the Williams. What can Sam do? Did he invalidate? No, he didn't. It's a 1:27.1 there, but will have cost himself time on the exit of Stowe and into Vale. And it's currently pole position, as Burmeister does 28.4, but I would expect to see the guys well inside the 26s.
Yeah, I would too, as John Polainen now is coming down Hanger Straight. He's got a car ahead of him at the moment. You'd imagine that car will swiftly move out the way. He's just coming round now down to Club Corner. What is John Polainen going to do? He is the man everybody's going to be watching. He's nice and smooth there. He's going to come round Club Corner now to finish off his first flying lap. What is he going to do? Jumps up with a 1:27.2. So just shows you at the moment Sam has the edge at this moment, but like you say, I imagine we should be well into the 1:26s when these guys have got several more laps under their belt tonight.
Absolutely. One of them that isn't going to be in the 1:26s to start with will be Foxy Red 2000, the man sitting second in the championship at the moment. He put on the hard tyres, so he's going to set a banker lap on those, and it is bottom of the pack at the moment with a 30.7, but obviously everyone else on 2-step higher compound and much softer rubber. So Foxy putting himself in a bank lap there that he can easily go out and beat, and equally, if he doesn't beat it with any sort of disqualification, then he does have to start let's say that if he's inside the top 10, of course, on the hard tyres. But we see CPR Alex doing a 28 flat. That puts him into the top 10. We've got Hercules, who I'll just go on board with now. He's coming into the pit lane at the end of that flying that. So Hercules bails out of that one. We'll see what White Fountain is doing. He is currently around the iconic Maggots, Beckett's entry into Chapel, now onto the Hanger Straight, one of the best complexes of corners in anywhere in motorsport, anywhere down the Hanger Straight towards Stowe, turn 15, now on the exit into Vale. And it's all that run down to Club 1 and Club 2 corners to finish off the lap. What can Fountain do? Currently sitting without a time, so this will be his first one. The Belgian comes across the line, and it is at the moment it's a 1:27.092, beating out his teammate by just under 15 thousandths of a second.
It's very close, isn't it? Even down to third with FPL Charlie jumping up there briefly in second at the time until White Fountain grabbed that pole position. FPL Charlie with a 1:27.1. So even down to John Pine with a 1:27.2. It's very tight at the moment for the top 4 positions. A good start, I'd say, for the new guy TNF Owen. He's currently sitting there in P5 at the moment, ahead of some experienced people in this, it's not no assist anymore, but on a Monday night, the experience. So definitely a good banker there for Owen as he starts his career with us here in Invictus on Monday nights.
Absolutely, and that's how you want to do. You want to get yourself up right in the the top end of the field, and that's what Owen's done. He's got himself behind Jumper Island, so that's not a bad place to start. And we're just on board with LER Luke 707 here, and the Dane heading down the hangar straight towards Stowe. He's already done a lap on these tyres. Will he stick with it, or will he come into the box at the end of this one to save those tyres? He's coming up to the final corners now. He's going to stick with it, so he is going to go round Club Corner momentarily, and the Ferrari's going to come across the line, kicking the rear end out just ever so slightly there, but he does stick with it. But it looks like it's another invalidation. It's a 30.7 on those tyres as well, which would have put him below Foxy Red. So Luke's probably going to have to come back in and put a new set of boots on and go out for another lap. And currently we've got a couple more drivers out for their out lap for their second run, and you can see it's a pretty busy qualifying session this evening.
It really is. As I'm just right on supposed speaking, I wondered why she was going slowly at the time, but she was just letting some guys through at the old pit straight there. She's out there on the hard tyres. Looks like she'll be... She's running really slowly at the minute still. I'm not sure she has a problem there, but she's on the hard tyre. 128.6 for her. I imagine she'll want to try and get back to pit lane and get swapped over. But we've got three guys at the moment who haven't set a time. That's LER Luke, as you point out, who's invalidated again. Hercules, he's back out there now in his Red Bull on his outlap for a set of softs. And Harry as well, the other Williams driver, he's currently on his outlap as well on a set of softs. So imagine them to move forward when they eventually get their lap time under their belt.
Absolutely. Just sitting on board here with Boy Better Know SB, otherwise known as Scott. So if you hear us saying Scott this evening, you'll know who it is. It's the man in the Mercedes. It's the former no assist champion and constructors, or two-time constructors champion as part of Mercedes. He was, of course, constructors champion as Harry retires from the session in what looks like must be on track, because he was on a lap there.
Yes.
So Harry off track in 17th position, so disaster for the Williams driver. He's going to start right at the back of the field, and Scott opening up his lap now as Owen does the fastest lap with 126.8. That's a great lap there to lay down the benchmark for the drivers to get inside the 126s. They're almost 2/10 faster than what Fountain's done.
And it is a great start for Owen. After seeing his teammate, he must have crashed out, because I did briefly flick over onto Harry and he was on track, and then I flicked away and he'd retired from the session, so it must have been an accident on track. So his teammate Owen is showing him exactly what can be done in that Williams, and he's grabbed the fastest lap so far. I'm now riding on board with Hercules as he's now coming down for his first time lap. He's at Club Corner now, final corner, here we go. What is he going to set for his first lap of tonight? And he jumps straight up to P2 there with a 126.9. So Hercules straight into the money paying positions, and not a bad lap at all. Just shows you at the moment the two new guys not to be messed with.
No, absolutely not. And Jumper Line, I'm sure, will be sitting in the pit lane thinking, now what do I have to do to go out and beat these guys? Because obviously they're coming into his turf now. He's been the open and a double race winner to open the season, and we're just on board with Scott here, who's going to come around and finish his second lap, and he moves up into the second row. The grid is a 27 flat for Scott in the Mercedes. Good lap there from him, but yeah, we'll just check in with Meg Lugby. Meg Lugby, a very good qualifier. We've said many times in the past how quick he goes in qualifying. He's currently on a 27.737. What does he do? He does a 27.5, moves up one position into 9th. And Sab, we look through the field. Of course, you've got these two new drivers in Owen and Hercules. You've got Scott, Fountain, Sam, and I mean, this season is proven by the merging of the Wednesday night Equal Performance F1 League and the Monday night No Assist League. These guys running no assists, of course, tonight. It's really, really ramped up the talent, hasn't it?
It has, and the likes of the guys who you usually see at the very front on a Monday night are finding themselves struggling now and barely qualifying in the top 5. That's what it's showing so far in the first couple of races this season, and it just shows you what you need to do now to get at the very front of the grid. I'm currently on board with Simon, another guy on a Monday night who could usually pull out a stonking lap in qualifying. You can normally find him right at the very top. He's just coming through Vale now into club. He's in his Red Bull as well. He sees Red Bull teammate up there. He just does jump up, but only to P8. It's a 1:27.3. I say only P8, but if you look there from 5th all the way down to 10th, there's barely 4/10 in it. So slight mistake here and there, or a slight improvement here there, could find yourself jumping up 2, 3, 4 places in this qualifying so far.
Absolutely, but it is Owen that leads the way at the moment on a 26.8, so as Hercules, of course, on a 26.9. So those two, as Adri goes wide, he's going to bail out of that lap, and he does. So we'll go on board with CPI Alex down in 12th position at the moment. Alex, of course, owns one, I believe it was one podium, which he had last season, but he runs up slightly wide there on the exit of Chapel down towards Hanger Straight. DRS wide open of the Toro Rosso, teaming with Speed Queen this season as he did last season, moving from the Ferrari into the Toro Rosso. So now Honda powered, not Ferrari powered, running out wide on the exit of Stowe and Vale, and now up to Club Corner, slows it down. Oh, you can see there the rear end not wanting to go in the same direction as the front end, so the car got all out of shape. That's going to really compromise his time, and it is 0.6 slower, so he probably was on for a better lap there, but unfortunate for Alex, he's going to have to go again with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the session.
Just riding on board with Foxy Red right now. He's just gone through the first sector, 9/10 up on the first sector. Bear in mind, he did do his first lap on those hard tyres, so expect him to be significantly faster this time round. He's out there on the soft tyres. He's going past the old pit straight now as he's heading towards Maggots and Beckett's. Foxy Red down there in 16th place at the moment. If he keeps this up, you would imagine he's going to be... as he's just got Beckett's wrong there. He was pretty much sideways coming out of Beckett's, and he's managed to keep it going. He says he's still up on his previous time, so that really held well, but he's backed out of it. Foxy Red has backed out of it, so maybe he's going to slow it right down and go for it. No, he's coming straight into the pit, so there was an opportunity there for Foxy Red to really get up into the top positions, and unfortunately that little mistake into coming out of Beckett's has cost him dearly, and he's now back into the pits, and he'll be hoping to chuck on a new set of boots and get out there quickly with just over 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, that had invalidation written all over it, and it is one of those corners where if you do just cut it ever so slightly, you get all four wheels off of the black stuff, you do find yourself with a slap on the wrist from the stewards and told to go and do the lap again. And it was just on board with Burmeister in the Ferrari, and the Dutchman heading down now on the old pit straight as we head towards the incredible Copse Corner. Flat out right-hander, be as brave as you can as you stick with it, and sends you down towards Aintree, Maggots, Beckett's, of course. And it's a sweeping section that the drivers will be hanging on by the skin of their teeth, and here they come down towards the Hanger Straight. Down towards Stowe Corner, and Burmeister, can he improve on his time? It's a 1:28.335 currently, as we see there. I believe that was Luke moving up one position ahead of Alex, but Burmeister coming up to finish his lap now through Club Corner. Slightly slow entry into Club 1, better exit out of Club 2. Can he move up? No, it's 3.5 tenths faster, but not validated, so it looks like he, or unless he did, and I may did, but he did. That is dreadful English. There we go. He did improve, but it didn't move him up a position. There we go. Much better.
Just while you was on board with Burmeister, John Palainen has jumped up. He's now up into P2, a 1:26.9. So that lap from Owen is looking like might be unbeatable. Who knows? Everybody now is out on outlaps to try and challenge that for one last time with 1:30 on the clock. I'm not riding on board with the Warrislander, who, in my opinion, has had a great start to this season. It's just been desperately unlucky of how it's all panned out for him as Speed Queen has retired from the session. Warrislander now starting his last flying lap of the session. The McLaren driver now is. I think he'll improve here. He's down in 9th place at the moment, but he's backed out of it. So I assume, it looks like he's backed out of it, so I assume whatever he's done is not worked, because he slowed significantly there, and it looks like Warrislander won't be improving.
And Jumper Line retiring from the session doesn't think he's going to get out in time to set another lap. So the Finn currently sitting in 2nd position, which looks under threat. We're on board with Hercules in the Red Bull here in 3rd position, and he's going quicker and coming up towards or coming through the 2nd sector now. Of course, Maggots, Beckett's, and into Chapel. There we go, view back on the car and heading down the Hanger Straight. DRS wide open, that rear flap of the rear wing giving you some extra speed all the way down towards Stowe. Get it slowed down, keep it tight on the apex of that corner. Ran out wide nicely, but does he run out too wide? He was out onto the asphalt there on the exit of the corner. Can Hercules get himself up at least onto the front row of the grid, if not into provisional pole position? Comes across the line, and Hercules doesn't improve. It's a 17,000th of a second deficit to his original time. So as Warrislander did get up into 4th position. So great lap there from Warrislander once again.
I must have had some sort of glitch or something happening, because he looked to me like he'd brake significantly, and obviously not, because he would not have jumped up into P4 there. So super lap there for the Warrislander in the McLaren. I'm riding on board at the moment with White Fountain, one of the Haas drivers. He's just come back past the national pit straight now. He's heading towards Maggots and Beckett's. White Fountain, as we always say, is usually one for pulling a lap out of the bag, as Owen goes even quicker with a 1:28.6. Wow, that is a lap time there from Owen. What a lap that is. 3/10 faster than John Polainen. And White Fountain currently is 3/10 faster than what he has done so far. He's done a 1:27.0. So at the minute, White Fountain, if this is all validated and clean, White Fountain should be right up there with Owen if he can just get these last few corners done nicely now. He's coming round Club Corner. What can White Fountain do? White Fountain, he's crashed across the finish line. Wow. So I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately for White Fountain, he has crashed across the finish line and stays P9 as Sam jumps up to 2nd place with a 1:26.8.
You must think that must have been invalidation late in the lap, because he did go 4.5 tenths faster, which would have put him up on the front row of the grid. However, it's his teammate Sammy Pepito that does get up onto the front row of the grid with a 26.823. So Sam, he had 2 invalidated laps to start with, not the 3rd one. The 3rd one was good, and it was good enough to get himself up onto the front row, whilst Charlie got himself up into 6th position at 27 flat, and he's just split by Simon as he was 6,000ths of a second slower. Look at the gap there you've got between 5th and 8th position. You've got less than half a tenth. With Warrislander and Charlie split by 5,000ths of a second. Simon 6,000ths of a second back from that, and Scott 400ths back from those. So those guys absolutely neck and neck really on time, but it is an absolutely dream result there for TNF Owen in the Williams, who takes home a debut pole position, and that's really put the cat amongst the pigeons when it comes to Jumperlinen, who thought he'd possibly be able to race away with this championship. Owen is your pole sitter ahead of San Pepito. Jumperlinen does get up into 3rd position ahead of Hercules, so another good result there from a new driver in Hercules. Warrislander, a good result from the Dutchman in 5th, with Charlie in 6th, Simon in 7th, with Scott and Fountain in 8th and 9th. Adri rounds out the top 10 with Meg, Foxy Red down the order in 12th position, Alex in 13th, Luke in 14th, Speed Queen, Burmeister and Harry, after retiring in the session, will start plumb last, and will have a lot of of work to do come the race time. And guys, if you are enjoying this this session, make sure you press the like button if you're watching live and if you're watching back after. And equally, if you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? Click that red button in the corner, that subscribe button. We are 3 subscribers away from hitting 200, which would be absolutely magic to hit that before Christmas. And Sab and I, of course, will be back every Monday bringing you the IRL F1 League. But of course, it's not the only league that we race here as part of Invictus Racing League. Tuesday night is the Realistic Performance League. It's currently in its 9th season, and that is Malc and Tim bringing you that on a Tuesday from 8 p.m. And then, of course, on Wednesday night, you've got IRL F2 and F3 equal performance leagues on a Wednesday night, and that is Tim and Malc covering F3 and Dan and Wout or Warrislander covering F2. But Sab, you've got what all the new drivers heading up the top of the field at the moment with Jumperline, Owen and Hercules. So we're in store for an absolute barnstormer, aren't we?
We really are, and like I pointed out earlier, you've got the experienced Monday night guys finding themselves towards the tail end of the top 10, whereas last season and a few other seasons they were at the very front, getting that pole position or even in the top 3. So it's going to be completely different for those guys. They're going to be right in the middle of this pack going into turn 1, so they'll be hoping they don't trip up over everybody. But what a debut night it has been for Hercules and Owen. If we'd have said at the beginning they'd both be in the top side, the top 4, they would have snapped our hands off at that. That was superb, and it just shows you, doesn't it? John Polainen was the man to beat, and boy was he beaten tonight. He eventually just under 3/10 off pole position, which does sound crazy to say, but I'm sure John Polainen come the race will be giving it his all to try and keep this win streak on for a 3rd win tonight. As we see now, the session is starting to get readied up. It's a lot cloudier, isn't it, than the qualifying, so maybe that makes a difference, who knows. But we should have a dry race overall, so it'll be fascinating to see, can Owen get away cleanly and pull away from this pack and make it a perfect evening for himself.
Absolutely, you want a good, clean run down through Abbey at the start of the race. But of course, as you're saying, jump line 3/10 back, which I mean, to normal people, if you said 3/10 of a second, they think, "God, that's nothing." But of course, in Formula One, 3/10 of a second is going to feel like an absolute mile between cars, as we saw the field so close in qualifying. But it is TNF Owen that leads us around. But yeah, as you were saying, there is a little bit of cloud cover coming over. You can see there, especially to the left-hand side of the screen as we got around the first corner, it's very overcast, which means the track temperature, of course, will be much lower than what we saw in qualifying with the sun warming up the track surface. Will this make these soft tyres harder to get up to temperature? Will it mean that they are just that little bit less grippy at the start of the race, with these guys really having to work to get the temperature into them? You can see Owen, they're really working the wheel to move backwards and forwards, left to right, to get as much temperature into these tyres as possible around this formation lap. You've got Owen with Sam in 2nd position, Jumperline in 3rd, Hercules in 4th with Warrislander and Charlie in 5th and 6th, Simon and Scott in 8th. White Fountain and Adri are all on the tyres they qualified on, and then of course we will check for you now, guys. It is on the medium tyres for Meg Lubby in 11th position. Foxy is going aggressive. He's going for the soft tyres straight off the bat, and so fresh softs from him, so look forward to seeing the Alpha charge through the field. And then the rest of the pack, CBI Alex, Luke, Speed Queen, Burmeister and Harry, all going for the middle compound of tyre, that medium compound. And so no one braving it on the hard tonight, which they aren't particularly great around here, the hard, so I'm not surprised we see guys on these red and yellow compounded tyres. But Sab, it looks as though Foxy Red is going to be trying to fight through the field, and we've seen some fantastic overtakes so far this season. I think we're going to expect some more tonight.
Oh, most definitely, and I'm being on those fresh softs. He'll want to try and get past Meg Luppy as quick as he possibly can, and then take it to those used soft running guys. I wouldn't be surprised to see Foxred move up through the field, but I think one guy we've got to keep an eye on tonight, who's known for his super starts. He'll probably hate me for pointing him out. Is Boy Better Know. We've seen him time and time again when he's in these sort of positions after the first few corners and even half a lap in, he's made his way up 3-4 places, so he's definitely one to keep an eye on at the start here.
Absolutely, as the cars roll into their pit boxes, using that yellow line to the right hand side of the car just to line up the tyres with the right area. Now we've got the engine notes rising from the back of these V6 turbo hybrids. We've got a yellow flag at the moment, but there we go, the red lights are on. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights from third round of the IRL F1 League, and we're out and underway, and it's a good start there for the Williams of Owen, but it looks like Sam is going to try and go with him down into turn 1, but it is not enough, and it's a clean getaway by the looks of it for the rest of the field. But it is Owen that leads the field through into Village and into the loop for the first time. Can we get through unscathed? It looks like we can. Great start from Owen there. There's a couple of positions changing around. You can see Scott has moved up 2 positions. Charlie, good start from him. He's jumped ahead of Jumper Line, and we've got contact at the back behind multiple cars there.
Yeah, big accident involving Simon, White Fountain, Meg Luppy. Eliar Luke has had an incident at turn 1, so he's managed to get his way through. Adja Lockdock as well. I didn't quite see who caused that accident, how it happened, but I just seen cars spinning at the back, and unfortunately at least 4 cars at the back now have been heavily compromised, especially Meg Luppy, who started P11 on those medium times, was hoping to make his way up, and now unfortunately finds himself down in P16, but that has benefited the likes of Harry, CPI Alex and Speed Queen, who are having a mega battle going through Maggots and Beckett's right now.
Yeah, Harry moving up 6 positions from last on the grid, so good start for the Williams, being able to watch or miss all of that action behind. We'll just check in with the Toro Rossos that are going side by side down towards Stowe, and have Harry for company, and these Toro Rossos still fighting with each other, and they have been for the last few corners. And then Speed Queen sweeps around the inside of Alex, and does Harry follow? No, he doesn't, so he's going to have to stick behind. Owen leads us around for the first lap, and he has pretty much had a perfect start. Harry there getting a much better exit out the final corner. Is he going to go side by side into Abbey? That's a brave move at full speed, but he gets the move done. Great move there from Harry B25 in the Williams, and Burmeister equally having a look at Alex, who's unfortunately after a good start going backwards a little bit.
Back at the front, Sam is putting mega pressure now on Owen. He had a look down the inside at turn 2, didn't think about a crazy move down there, but at the moment he's just about 3/10 behind that Williams. He's pressing him hard. He's also bringing along Hercules, who's only half a second behind Sam as well in the Red Bull. So Owen at the moment, it's not comfortable for him at the moment. He's there, he's got the lead, but he's going to start feeling the pressure within the next few laps, especially from Sam, who we know is excellent when he's in this mode, in this attack mode, ready to try and take the race lead now as they head down towards Hanger Straight.
Absolutely, we're on lap 2 of 26. Sam, without DRS yet, is heading down towards Stowe Corner. Not quite close enough, but I tell you what is going to be close. It's going to be the battle between the Mercedes behind, and equally Warrislander sticking with these two, and Scott and Charlie, good mates off the track, but unfortunately when you're on it, it's all going to be a fight for position. 2 ex-champions here at Invictus, and they're going to be fighting over 4th position. We've got Sam still in this battle for the lead. Hercules is sticking with them, 0.4 of a second behind, but Foxy does the first fastest lap of the race, or a real competitive time, and he is currently moved up into 8th position, so it's a good start for Foxy. Started on those fresh soft tyres, of course. Sam now heading down towards the Wellington Straight. DRS will open for the first time. Can he close up to the Williams ahead? He's going to look towards the outside line. He's going to have to pull in tight now and try and get a different line compared to Owen, and he's going to take a much wider line into Luffield, and on the exit of Woodcote here, can he line him up maybe for a run down into Copse? We've seen overtakes around Copse before, and it would be a very, very brave drive to do it this evening, especially this early in the race. But when you are on new tyres, it's probably the best option to do it, as opposed to when you start losing the grip levels. But this always see Sam getting a much better run there through Maggots and Beckett, and he's now going to line himself up quite nicely onto the Hanger Straight, But watch out, because just behind him is Hercules in the Red Bull, and Hercules has got a superb launch out the final corner. We've got this move for the lead. Sam is going to take the inside line into Stowe, and he gets the move done. But we've got Owen behind. He's going to have to immediately defend, because here comes Hercules to the outside into club corner. Will he have the inside line? Not close enough. He's just had the door closed on him. Warrislander first to pick up 3 seconds tonight.
I'm riding on board with Foxy Red, and I can count all the way up to Charlie of cars that are all on the same bit of tarmac right now on the start-finish straight. Foxy Red is trying to keep the pressure on John Polani, who unfortunately has had a poor race so far by his standards, down 4 places in 7th. But at the moment, 4th to 8th are all within a second of each other, and riding on board with Foxy Red now, it just looks absolutely incredible to see all these cars all fighting, trying to put the pressure on each other. But at the moment, the problem is, because Charlie in 4th is also getting DRS off Hercules, it's just having a negative effect on everybody else, because everybody behind is picking up the DRS as well. So at the moment, because they're running so closely, this DRS is kind of nullifying it, and nobody's getting any moves done. But as you can possibly see, it's nose to tail from 3rd all the way down to 8th right now.
I've missed this. I've missed this kind of battling where we have about 6, 7, 8 cars all in a row, all vying over the lead. And this is what Invictus is all about. Superb racing at its finest. And you've got these guys all battling over the same bit of track. We're on board with FPL Charlie trying to line up Hercules in the Red Bull ahead. Warrislander defending from Jumpalainen, who will be dismayed at his start. Dropped down to 7th position. He's dropped 4 positions already. Charlie sitting behind Hercules, and he knows Hercules well, and he's raced with him before, but he's going to have to get past him now. So that's a completely different kettle of fish, as Owen does the fastest lap of the race, a 31 flat there. And but it is Sam that leads the race after getting past Owen a few laps ago. Scott picking up an early penalty, and that's not what the Mercedes driver wants.
No, definitely not. And I'm riding on board at the moment with CPI Alex and Burmeister. They are having a super battle. They've overtook each other at least 2 or 3 times in the last couple of corners. CPI Alex currently is winning that battle, but Burmeister shortly will be able to pick up DRS. And you imagine CPI Alex with lots of clean air in front of him won't have any really opportunity to defend from this, and as Burmeister comes out in his Ferrari and cruises past CPRX, and once again, as CPRX doesn't give up on it and leaves it late, but unfortunately CPRX runs deep there and allows Burmeister to get through. But Alex is not giving up, and they're having a mega battle there for P11.
We will go and focus on that battle as soon as we can. I don't want to leave this crazy battle at the front. We've got the Mercedes pushing each other into the second sector, really trying to fight over positions. Scott getting real racy behind his teammate. DRS wide open now. This is a good run he's had on Charlie down towards Stowe. Can he get the move done? He's going to just run out of time to get it done. Hercules equally getting close up behind Owen for second position. Can he send it down the inside into club corner? It'd be a brave move on lap 5 of 26, as Charlie now picks up 3 seconds and Foxy picks up 3 seconds. So drivers picking up very, very early penalties. That's both Mercedes and the Alfa, as Scott there got the exit of the last corner way wrong, and he's going to be well under threat from Warrislander. And the McLaren driver is going to send it down the inside into Village. Is there contact? There is slight contact between the two. Warrislander has turned around. He's going to not give up the position. He's not going to want to let Foxy get past him. He just about managed to hold on to the spin, got back on the power, and he's still in this battle.
Wow, you just can't take your eyes off this, can you? You just don't know where to look. At the moment, you think Sam's got it comfortable, but Sam now, he ran a little deep there, but he's still got half a second over Owen. But where the hell do you look here? Because like I was pointing out in this battle with CPI Alex, you've got battles everywhere so far on the track, as even Harry at the moment is putting the real pressure on Speed Queen down in 9th and 10th place. So superb race so far. We're only on lap 6.
Yeah, I know, we have got plenty more racing left to go this evening. Just sticking on board with Warrislander, who has got the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Foxy Red is well within striking distance of the McLaren. And McLaren, he's already had a look at him twice over this lap. Foxy going wide there, but there you go. Warris getting caught in the dirty air. Foxy's going to have to go defensive into club corner, and he does, which means he's going to be slow on the exit because he's going to have to compromise that entry into the final two corners. But it is looking as if the positions are going to be held for now. Warrislander, after that slight contact with Scott last lap, fell back, was not willing to give up this position in the fight. It did actually benefit Jumpalainen, who moved back up ahead. And there you go, Warrislander sending it down the inside. As cheeky as you like, there's contact between the two ever so slightly, but Warrislander just catching Foxy out of well, just... I'm pretty sure Foxy wasn't expecting to see the that papaya orange McLaren send it down the inside going into turn 4 there, but yeah, it was a nice little cheeky move from the Dutchman.
Just ahead, Hercules has overtaken Owen for second place. He got the move done before the first DRS zone, and then benefited of the DRS ahead to defend from Owen, and that's allowed Charlie now to put huge pressure on Owen for third place. Owen at the moment is dipping tyres in and off the grass at the moment, but Charlie sensing like he's got an opportunity here to get a move done. Owen does have DRS to help him defend, but Charlie is gaining. Is he going to send one down the inside? He has a look. He's going to send it down the inside. Owen trying to cut him off, just about keeps hold of third, but at the moment it looks like to me Owen might start to be struggling with those tyres because he's slowly starting to fall back as Charlie now really putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, and of course these guys are going to have to look after the tyres. So much battling in the early stages of this race will compromise the tyre wear, and Charlie will be aware of that, and he'll want to clear the Williams ahead that seems to be struggling somewhat on those tyres. Jumpalainen equally looking racy, and then behind in the background you could see Warrislander and Foxy still going at each other. They've fallen off the back of Jumpalainen a little bit, so those two battling will have compromised them just a little bit, but not too much. They're still within sight of this battle at the front, but you still got Charlie just under 0.3 of a second behind TNF OMB, who is currently dropping off of pole position, is down in third position. Sam, it's a 0.3 of a second gap between himself and Hercules. Hercules now is lining up Sam, coming down towards the exit of Cops towards Maggots and into Aintree. And Sam seems to be getting the best run through these corners. He seems to nail the entry and the exit pretty much perfectly, lap upon lap. But Hercules here, he's going to get a good run on Sam. Now Sam, this is the disadvantage. He won't have DRS, whereas Hercules does. So here comes the Red Bull. Sam's going to have to defend. He goes to the inside line. Is Hercules able to get it round the outside? He's going to have to take the dirty line. It's going to be, you can say he uses the asphalt, but he does get the inside line for club corner. They're still side by side, and in fact he bails out of that one, decides to not go side by side. He's going to line him up and have a go next lap.
And look who's behind now. FPL Charlie has managed to get Owen, as Owen is given up on those tyres. He's coming to pits, but Owen had gone deep into Beckett's, and it allowed Charlie to really catch up to the back of that Williams and passing down the hanger straight. And that battle for the lead has allowed Charlie to catch right up to the back of that Red Bull. And now Charlie will be sensing an opportunity here to maybe get this race lead as we see Hercules and Sam once again pretty much side by side. Hercules going down the inside. Can he get the move done this time? Yes, he can. And now we have another new race leader, and that is Hercules in the Red Bull. So this lead is going to be changing throughout the whole race, it seems, and it's going to probably go down to a few last laps until we get a definitive race winner here. But superb battling so far.
Yeah, and just going back and looking at the guys that did come into the pits last lap, and Owen has come out behind White Fountain, and they're both battling to go side by side. Oh, there's contact between Owen and the Ferrari of Luke there, and Luke going off wide. He got a sandwich between the Haas and between the Williams as Alex picks up 3 seconds. The Ferrari now side by side with Scott. Scott gets past, so Luke, unfortunately, they're just a little bit swamped by guys all on faster tyres, as Scott now gets up and he's now back behind Owen. Owen is now trying to look at White Fountain into Maggots and Beckett's. That would be a bold move if you're going to try and get that one done. But look how close these three guys are doing. This essentially, he's going to have to go around to the outside. He's going to give him a perfect launch on Hanger Straight. But look, we've got 4 cars all within about 3 meters of each other. And there you go. And into Stowe Corner. What a move by Scott. If he's going to get this one done, he's taken 2 cars on the outside. He's going to have to sweep to the inside. Harry's looks like Owen now is trying to stick with it. I'm sticking with this battle. I know we've got a battle going on between Jumper Line and Charlie at the front, but what a fight we've got between the Williams, the Haas and the Mercedes.
Wow, that is very special. I'm keeping an eye on the battle for the lead at the moment in case anything happens there. The leaders, Hercules and Sam, both pitted, and Charlie and Jumper Line stayed out, possibly for an extra lap. You'd imagine they might be coming in any time now. Hercules and Sam both coming out in P9 and P10. So Charlie just about hanging on to first place at the moment. Jumper Line in just half a second behind, but you'd imagine this Mercedes and Racing Point drivers will be coming in now, otherwise they could end up getting jumped by cars that came in earlier than them. So imagine them to be jumping in at any point now as Foxy picks up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting there. Wow.
Yeah, corner cutting and gaining a position as well. So Foxy there, that's not what you want to see at all, as Charlie comes into the pit box. Jumperlinen staying out. So Jumperlinen on those soft tyres, staying out for one more lap. And we know that this is the longest pit lane in F1. So equally, you want to feel, or you want to kind of get yourself out, you want to filter back out into an open road, and or just checking with Owen and with Sam, who are swapping positions there for 11th and 12th position. So that's actually an on-track move there between the two who were fighting before the pit stop. So Scott now getting himself ahead of Owen, who is falling back after starting on the pole. But Foxy and Charlie in the pit box. Where do they come out? Charlie was fighting with his teammate. Will Scott be able to clear him? He's going to come out side by side with Hercules. Hercules just getting out ahead of Charlie.
Yeah, I was right on board with Charlie. I was hoping they would come out close, and boy was that close. This should allow Charlie to pick up a DRS on Hercules. Surely now this should be an easy move for Charlie. Hercules is going to try and stay defensive, but I think Hercules has just got enough space there, and Charlie, unfortunately for him, just couldn't get out ahead of that Red Bull, but it did get him out ahead of Sam. Sam in 9th place at the moment, as Sam splitting both the Mercedes guys at the moment, but surely now Jumper Line has got to be coming into the pits anytime now, and he does. Jumper Line is coming into the pits now, which will give Harry B, who started at the back, will now be... No, he won't. Speed Queen and Harry have swapped places, so Speed Queen will take the race lead as Jumper Line comes into the pits.
As Jumper Line picks up 5-second penalty for speeding into the pitch lane entry. That's a massive penalty for the Racing Point, and that could essentially call curtains on his attempt at winning this race tonight. And we've got this battle going on between the what are current leaders of the race and Harry going down the inside into the loop section, and they're still side by side between himself and Speed Queen. They've been fighting over the position. Harry back past after losing the position down Hanger Straight at the end of the last lap. Speed Queen, she's going to have to do it all over again. These two, of course, started on the medium tyre, so are yet to make that pit stop, but are enjoying this superb battle between the pair.
They've been battling all race so far. They've had a superb battle. Swapped positions many times, and once again swapping positions now for the lead. Harry and Speaker is starting near the back of the grid tonight. They'll be looking to try and go as long as possible on these medium tyres. But yeah, fair play to Harry. Up 16 positions so far in first place. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and it's Meg Luppy.
Yeah, we've just lost Meg Luppy on the exit there of Woodcote Corner. Just lit the rear tyres up in a battle between, well, he was, I say in a battle, he was, I believe, yet to pit, and he had the likes of Sam, Jumperline and Charlie behind him, just lit the tyres up, sliding sideways towards the old pit lane. And unfortunately, when carbon fibre meets a concrete wall, usually it's the carbon fibre that comes off second best, and that's what happened to the McLaren, and that's another retirement for McLuppy after retiring last week as well. Jumperline now lining up Charlie, into club corner, not quite close enough to get the move done on the number 2 Mercedes. But we've still got this. I feel like we've had the entire race long, we've had cars within a second of each other.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fascinating. The only frustration is, because of how close they are, they've been able to defend pretty easily against the car behind, who also has DRS. But Hercules is doing a decent job, I'd have to say, of keeping that Mercedes behind him at the moment. He'll not be picking up any DRS, but at the moment he's defending very well. Charlie now right behind him with DRS, but just can't get close enough, Charlie, and that's then giving a snowball effect backwards as Joe Palainen can't get the move done, and neither can Sam, and it's slowly starting to reel in Charlie's teammate, Boy Better Know, in ninth place. He's about 1.6 seconds behind this battle at the moment for P5, so at the moment it's benefiting Scott to bring them back into this, but Charlie, if he could just get the move done on Hercules, then he will be sitting pretty for a race win tonight.
Yeah, and of course Charlie yet to pick up a win on Monday nights, and he won the no assist championship last season, and but he did it without picking up that win, and it's one thing that he's wanted so badly, and so he'll be looking at getting past Hercules, but if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it the hard way, and that's on the track, because of course these two drivers have made their pit stop, so the undercut or the overcut is not going to work anymore. You have to do it on the black stuff around the sweeping bends of Silverstone, and he does the fastest lap to really put down a statement of intent at 30.227, and the Mercedes driver still trailing in the shadow of the Red Bull ahead, but Jumpalainen, he's not sticking behind, knowing that he's got that 5-second penalty. He's quite happy to get in the mix and try and clear these guys and get to the front of the field. We've still got that battle going on between Harry and Speed Queen as well at the front of the field. Of course, yet to stop the top four as Adri picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties there. And we've got Charlie, Jumpalainen and Hercules all within a second of each other. Charlie looking like he's just sitting in the gearbox of the Red Bull looking for the right time to strike, but he's got to watch out, because behind him he's going to have that Racing Point that's beaten him for the first 2 races of the season, and that'll probably be sticking in the back of Charlie's mind at the moment.
It will, and I was just remembering as well, Charlie also has that 3-second time penalty hanging over his head as well as his teammates. So if he's going to get the race victory tonight, I don't believe Hercules has got any penalties so far. So if he's going to take this race victory tonight, he needs to get past this Red Bull and try and clear him. At the moment, he's just finding it a bit too difficult. Even with DRS, Hercules is doing a fine job there to keep him behind. But yeah, Charlie, sooner rather than later, needs to get this job done, but he doesn't want to take too much out of these tyres too soon, does he, and find himself compromised towards the end. So it's a fine balance of when to strike, but so far Charlie I'd imagine he's getting quite frustrated, stuck behind that Red Bull, but he's just got to remain calm. Yeah,
it just seems as though that the Hercules setup might just be a little bit quicker in a straight line compared to Charlie's. He just couldn't catch up down the hangar straight, even with Hercules without DRS. It's just about keeping him ahead, and we've still got this fantastic little battle between the pair of Speed Queen and Harry going on at the front for what is currently the race lead. Of course, these four, the top 4 yet to stop, the top 2 of course in this battle yet to stop, but it is 2.5 tenths between the two as they head down on the exit of Copse Corner towards turn 10 at Maggots. And Speed Queen, she's been sticking with Harry, not quite able to get past the Williams yet, so we'll see what these guys filter out when it comes to the pit stops, because we're on lap 15 of 26. This race has absolutely flown by, and here comes Speed Queen to the outside into Stowe. She's going to try and stick with it. Is Harry going to give her the space? He runs her out slightly wide, trying to hold on to position there, and these two carry on this pretty crazy battle.
Yeah, Harry kind of invited her in slightly there as he was coming out of Beckett's. He dipped a tyre into the grass, and it just slowed him down enough to allow Speed Queen to really close up on Harry. Harry eventually getting the defensive work done, as we see Burmeister and CPILX, the other two who hadn't yet to pit, now pitting. So you'd imagine within the next couple of laps now, Harry and Speed Queen will be diving into pit lane. It'll be interesting to see, won't it, if they both come in at the same time, because you'd imagine they'll be coming back at exactly the same position again and fight, not the same position what they're in, but as close as they are on the track. So yeah, this is going to be fascinating, I think, especially with Harry, because I don't believe he's got a penalty so far, and if he hasn't, you'd imagine he's going to be very racy towards the end with Speed Queen being towed along.
Yeah, absolutely, and those guys will probably filter out just outside the top 10, but they of course will be on the softest rubber, fresh soft tyres, so they'll be mighty quick at the last stages of this race, as White Fountain does the fastest lap of the race, 1:30.1, and it's Charlie still with Hercules there, but exploring the track limits there on the exit of Copse Corner, and probably lucky to not get away with a warning, and equally there on the entry to Maggot. So Charlie doing all he can to not only get past the Red Bull, but equally have to keep this racing point at bay, because Jumpalainen is at the moment looking much closer to Charlie than Charlie is to Hercules, as we've got Harry and Speed Queen into the box. So those two not allowing each other to get an undercut on each other. They're in on lap 16 of 26, and the current closest battle we got on track is this one that you're watching right now. It's Hercules, Charlie and Jumpalainen. White Fountain's currently just over a second behind Warrislander. Unfortunately for him, down in 15th position. Not what Fountain wanted at all from this evening. Now, where does the Williams come back out in relation to the rest of the field? Harry and Speed Queen look like they are dropping down to around the back end of the top 10. Charlie looking close to Hercules once again, but like we said earlier, it looks as though that Red Bull is slightly stronger in the straight line compared to Charlie.
It does, yeah. It looks like he's definitely got the car set up for the straight line speed. Harry and Speed Queen have come back out in P8 and P9. That is pretty nice, to be fair. They've come out ahead of Burmeister. Now it's going to be absolutely fascinating. What can these two do in terms of attacking the cars ahead? Harry 5.3 seconds behind Foxy Red. He'll be the first one he'll be targeting. Can Harry make a charge now for potentially a podium place? Is he gonna have enough laps? It's all going to be very fascinating now for these last 9 laps or so, and hopefully they don't compromise each other, Harry and Speed Queen, by trying to battle each other on track, and they can just take each other closer to the front, and in a way, even though the rivals, help each other out by getting further up the field.
Yeah, as Charlie was probably the closest he's been all race long to Hercules down the Hanger Straight, but not able to get the job done into Stowe, and by backing off it's once again invited the pressure from the racing point behind. But this is your battle for the lead, guys. 3 cars within a second of each other, and not even within a second of each other, well within a second of each other. You've got a 3/10 gap between Hercules and Charlie. Jumpalainen 3.5 tenths back from these guys as well. So they've broken away from Sam, who was of course looking quite strong in the early stages of the races. You can see there Hercules trying to break the toe of the Mercedes behind, as that DRS flap lowers down on the rear wing of the Mercedes of Charlie, and Charlie's having to stick with him once again. But it's frustrating for Charlie. And like we said, he just seems to lack that straight line speed that's costing him the opportunity to attack. In fact, Jumpalainen looking very, very close to the back end of the Mercedes now, heading through Copse Corner, and Jumpalainen equally, he's sticking with them, but does like Charlie's sitting on that 3-second penalty, has a 5-second penalty to his name. So he's going to have to hope to either clear these guys and scamper up the road, or possibly that Hercules picks up a penalty of his own, and that Charlie maybe picks up one more. But here you go, here's the battle. Charlie's going to try and switch back at the last minute and look to the inside, but equally Jumpalainen's had a great run on Charlie on the exit of Stowe. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Charlie runs out wide, runs him onto the asphalt. Jumpalainen's going to have to stay in 3rd position for now.
Wow, that was very close. And just further back, Foxy Red and Owen have now swapped places. Foxy Red managed to get the move done on Owen, and unfortunately for Owen, the second half of this race has just kind of fallen away for him at the moment. He's in 7th place now, as Foxy Red looks to try and push forward towards Boy Better Know, but yeah, he'll be disappointed he's dropped down to 7th, I imagine, from starting on pole position, Owen, but he's still doing having a good race to say it's his debut, and I think if he finishes in the podium, I'll pass you over to the race lead.
And yeah, it is Charlie that gets the move done in to the exit of the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. He does finally get past Hercules just out of sight of the camera as we were just looking on board with Jumper Liner, but he did get the move done into turn 6. And now, unfortunately for Charlie, the hunter is about to become the hunted with Hercules, I'm sure, trying to get the move done straight away to get back up into the lead of the race. And you can see here the Red Bull is he's going to have a good launch out of the final of Chapel, the final of those sweeping bends to get a run down. Of course, this straight line advantage that he has on Charlie will benefit him, but Charlie just about able to hold him off for now. Jumper Line and still looking incredibly racy behind that number 13 Racing Point in third position. Sam now 3.2 seconds behind these guys, but is slowly reeling them in at about 1/10 every couple of corners. So this battle is not over at the moment. And equally, Scott 1.1 seconds behind Sam as Luke picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties there for multiple track excursions, I would imagine. And we've still got the battle between Foxy Red and Owen going on. Equally, Speed Queen is continually tethered to Harry, it seems.
Yeah, she's got a big rope wrapped around that Williams and being dragged along as Harry now reeling in Owen, his teammate. They've not seen much of each other so far this weekend, as Warrislander and Adjok are swapping positions further back for 12th and 13th, as Warrislander does take 12th place in the end. But I was just checking up on Hercules. He's only got 1 warning to his name so far tonight, so as long as Hercules just sticks to the back of that Mercedes of Charlie, Hercules at the moment will take the race victory from Charlie, but there's still 6 laps to go. Anything can happen, especially how this race has gone so far. So who knows how it's going to play out from now, as we've got a yellow flag in sector 1, and I believe that is, yes it is, and it's been a very disappointing race for LER Luke K as he spun it down towards the Wellington Straight.
I don't think you can really fit anything else between these 3 cars that are heading up the field at the moment, heading down towards Stowe. They were line astern going into the corner, and how there wasn't contact between the 2 is beyond me, and they are still with each other. These guys showing incredible car control to maintain any sort of front wing or keeping those front wings intact, because they are so close to each other. Hercules is he's dropped to just over half a second behind Charlie, so Charlie should be safe down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. Of course, Charlie getting the move done here. A few laps to go to take the race lead on we're now on lap 21 of 26. And yeah, you can this is one of those battles that you like to watch back and enjoy, and I'm sure, Sab, this one will be going on the Instagram later this evening.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. It's been one of the greatest highlights we've had so far this season. I've just been watching Boy Better Know. He's now got within a second of Sam. Sam having by his standards, a poor second half of the race. He's missed a few apexes and ran deep a few times, riding on board with Scott. And Scott's sensing opportunity here. He's just dipped over a second there, so I don't know if he did pick up DRS. Sorry, yes. So Scott just trying to reel in that hat at the moment. He's sensing opportunity here, but I was just trying to work out as well. Harry is 2.2 seconds behind his teammate now, dragging along Speed Queen, just a 10th between them 2. I'm thinking Harry, if he's going at the rate he's going, has a possibility of picking up 6th place here from Foxy Red. Harry is absolutely flying at the moment. He can see both Owen and Foxy Red ahead of him, and the way they're going, both Harry and Speed Queen have a very good opportunity here to grab 6th and 7th place towards the end of this race.
The battle's still going on at the front of the field, and I want to find out what else is going on the track. I do promise, guys, I want to find out how the other battles are going on. I just want to make sure that we don't miss anything, but I will just for now, because I don't think we're going to see a move for the next 10 or so seconds. Just quickly check in with what is going on between Scott and Samuel Pepito behind. He's about 3.5 tenths behind as the Mercedes trying to line up Sam heading down towards the old pit straight now towards towards Copse Corner. Fountain picks up 3 seconds for multiple warnings this evening, and Scott here still sticking with Sam, and he's going to have a good run down the hanger straight, I'd imagine, in a couple of corners time. Speed Queen still half a second behind Harry, just can't seem to get past the Williams, and equally the Williams pair might have to think about swapping positions shortly, with Harry having the better tyre life. With 4 laps left to go in the race, we've got this battle for the lead still going on, but equally here comes Scott to the inside of Sam into Stoke Corner, gets the move done, nice and clean, no worries at all for the Mercedes, and unfortunately for Sam, he's falling back after leading the race earlier in the session.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much inevitable in the end. Scott was smelling blood. The Jaws music was kicking in, and Scott made light work of it now. He just needs to try and pull away from Sam now, and hope Sam doesn't come back for some revenge as Harry. That could prove crucial. Harry has picked up 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so that could come back to bite him as Speed Queen is now ahead of Harry. Speed Queen has finally got the move done. I don't know whether Harry might have ran wide, and the reason why Speed Queen has got ahead, I missed that. So Speed Queen 2.6 seconds behind Owen at the moment. So those two, Speed Queen and Harry, are still having a mega battle. They'll be sick to death of seeing each other by the end of the race, I'm sure.
Or Owen having a look to the inside of Foxy Red on the exit of Luffield here. He's going to line them up going down towards Copse Corner. It doesn't look like he's close enough to send it down the inside of the Alfa Romeo this time around. And of course you can move around there, you just have to be incredibly friendly with your compatriot in another car and hope that they don't turn in or roll out to you. So Foxy there, in fact, having a better run through the corners, so he's going to have a good run on the exit of the hanger straight, and he's going to stick ahead of Owen. And we'll just check in with Harry and Speed Queen, and Harry now handing down the hanger straight. Speed Queen ahead of him. Is he going to make a move to the inside? It doesn't look like he's quite close enough. And after starting last on the field and last on the grid, I should say, Harry in 9th position. Not really where he'll want to be as a race or multi-race winner here last season.
It just shows you, doesn't it, how competitive this league has now got. Somebody who we were tipping, weren't we, last season to be a championship contender. And yes, there's many races to go. It's too early to rule anybody out. But someone like Harry, who we've seen more times than not on the podium towards the end of last season in the No Assist League, now battling it out in 9th place. He'll probably be happy with the fact that he's made it away from the back of the grid. But it's definitely not where he wants to be. And he might even drop out of those points places towards the end with that time penalty now hanging over him. At the front, it's weird, isn't it? Charlie couldn't get the move done on Hercules when he had DRS, and now Hercules has got the DRS, and he can't seem to get the move done on Charlie. It's like the DRS is having a bit of a reverse effect at the moment, but Charlie just cannot break that DRS gap, and it's just allowing Hercules and John Pline just to hang on to the back of that Mercedes. And unfortunately for Charlie, the way it's going, it's not going to be a first race victory for him, because I just checked as well as Sam and Scott have now swapped positions back, so there's another good battle between those two. Yeah, Hercules still with only the 1 warning, so unfortunately for Charlie, Hercules will take that position back.
Role reversal for 20. Oh, Scott loses it on the exit of club. Just on his own, just spins the car around and just got on the curbs, and that's going to cost him positions. He's going to drop way down the order, and it was looking. He just lost the position to Sam. You could see he'd gone to the inside, looking to the inside into club corner, and he just seemed to be on the wrong line and just on his own lit those rear tyres off and pointing in the wrong direction. And now he's down in 9th position. That's a killer for Scott, who was looking on for a decent result tonight after what has been a poor start to the season for his standards. But Scott now down in 9th position. Sam in a clear 4th position. Foxy Red up into 5th. Owen up into 6th. That pushes Harry, who has swapped positions with Speed Queen again, into 7th and 8th position. And but we're now back on board with Jumper Line, and we're on the penultimate lap of the race. One more to go after this. Charlie is leading, but he is sitting on that 3-second time penalty. Jumper line and equally has 5 seconds. We've got a yellow in sector 3 at the moment. Is it a slow car? Or...
It's Adriel Otdock in the Renault. He'd been lapped and he was just allowing cars past.
Okay, so Adri doing the safe thing and getting out of the way, and he's currently down in 15th position. Luke equally down in 14th position has picked up, I believe, another penalty just a few laps previous that we didn't reference, but it is the final lap of the race and it's going to be Charlie that's going to lead us round for it, and it's going to be a real heartbreak of Charlie, who, like we said, is yet to pick up a Monday night win. And at the moment, unless Hercules makes a Herculaic mistake over the last few corners, it looks as though the German is going to come across and pick up the win. Of course, unless Jumperleinen does something absolutely magical in the next few corners. But it's going to be a real killer for Charlie, who's done a fantastic job to move up into the lead of the race and hold it, and he took the lead from Hercules and he's managed to hold him off for the last few laps. But yeah, these guys, you've got to take your hat off to them. They've been within a second of each other for pretty much 75-80% of the race.
It has been fantastic, and just further back, just briefly, I'll touch on it before the end of the race, is a super battle for 5th place. Foxy Red, Owen, Harry, Speed Queen and Boy Better Know are all within a second of each other, so anything could happen towards the end of the race as Boy Better Know picks up another time penalty, so unfortunately that will cost him dearly. But yeah, mega battle as well, just further back in 5th place.
And here comes Charlie around the final corners. But it's going to be heartbreak for the Mercedes, who's going to drop off of the top step. I can't say it this evening, but it is Hercules that takes the race victory tonight. Charlie down into second position. Jumperleinen with that 5-second penalty sticks in third. Sam is in fourth. Foxy Red with Harry, Owen making it, with the Williams coming across the line with a blink of an eye between the two of them. Equally between Speed Queen and Foxy Red. Burmeister now is going to come and take the final position in the points in 10th position. Alex is down 15 seconds behind him, and you can see there the gaps between the drivers on the interval, showing just how close it's been this evening. Here comes Alex to finish off just outside of the top 10, and Fountain, he's going to finish off a woeful evening for him. He'll be gutted with how the evening has gone after being involved with that incident early on. Equally, Warrislander, who was running well up towards the front end of the field early. And then finally, of course, with Adri being lapped, he has already finished and completed 25 of the 26 laps. It is LER Luke who is going to be your final driver on the lead lap. And it's a shame there was an incident on the first lap, and because that did unfortunately starve us of a couple of fantastic drivers, but it is Luke that does come home 14th. And that ends an absolutely brilliant British Grand Prix.
Yeah, it was superb throughout the whole grid. Battles everywhere. If only we had multiple cameras to show every single part of that race. Huge congratulations to Hercules. Debut win for him in the Red Bull. He'll be delighted with that tonight. Really gutted for Charlie. That race victory once again was within his grasp, and unfortunately that penalty cost him dear. And Jumperleinen has finally been beaten this season so far in F1. He does come home in P3, so it's another podium place for him. But it just proves that anything can happen in this league, despite a dominant start from one person.
Absolutely, and congratulations to Hercules. There you go. The German in the Red Bull goes from 4th to 1st in 39 minutes, 56 seconds. And he takes the race victory to head against Charlie in 2nd and Jumperleinen in 3rd, who round out the podium. Sam is in 4th with Owen from pole position dropped down to 5th position. Speed Queen is in 6th with Foxy in 7th. Harry is in 8th. Scott in 9th position after that late spin. Burmeister is your final points position holder in 10th. CPI Alex, White Fountain, Warrislander, and Luke all finished outside the points on the lead lap. Andrew finished a lap down. Unfortunately, we lost Meg Lugby to a spin earlier in the race, and Simon unfortunately had a in lap 1 incident that meant an early retirement for the Swede, who will be gutted with that, because it's not been the season not been a season starter for Simon, who's yet to really get off the mark and challenge like we know he can. But yeah, it's you can see just how close it was in qualifying, and qualifying was really a precursor to what was an absolutely excellent race.
It really was. It's just you just didn't know who was going to win. Owen looked absolutely mighty at the start, and you thought, could this be a debut victory for him? Unfortunately, he fell away towards the end. Even Sam at one point was running in the lead, so you just didn't know who was going to take it. But once it started to settle down towards the end of the race, it was a super battle at the front, and unfortunately, penalties have come and got in the way and cost race victories tonight, but it shouldn't deter from the fact that we've had a super race from all of them here tonight.
Absolutely not. And of course, guys, if you've enjoyed that, make sure you let us know. Press the like button on the YouTube video. Helps us out with that YouTube algorithm. And equally, if you're not subscribed already, this is what you get here at IRL. And you will find it every Monday night. And the guys have joined us in the country box for the podium interview. So make sure, guys, that you've got your voices to always allow to be shared in the group setting so that everyone can hear your answers. And yeah, I will start off with Hercules, race winner. What a great way to start your time here at Invictus with a really hard win over the likes of Charlie and Jumpalainen.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So how did you think to find the race really? Because obviously you were involved in that battle for the entire time with Charlie. Charlie got past you with about 5 or 6 laps left to go, and you just couldn't quite get back past him. Were you comfortable knowing that Charlie had a penalty, or was it a bit of a surprise as you crossed the line and moved up into the win?
I was checking the penalties. The thing is, we knew after the stop that we will still in this DS train or pack, like with Charlie, Jumpalainen and me. And I was pushing quite hard after my stop, and I was running out of ERS, so I had like nothing to defend on the straights. And I know Charlie, he got me in this league, so we are pretty familiar with each other, and we drive a lot, so we did a little bit of teamwork. The one who had more DRS was in front, so we did not make a late move or something, and managed to keep Jumpalainen behind us with ERS management just. And but I knew he had penalties, so when I will cross the finish line behind Charlie, and I only have to have a Jumpalainen behind me, and then I will win. So good teamwork, and congrats to Charlie and Jumpalainen.
Yeah, well, it was a mega race from you. Really, really impressive in your first race here. And if that's what we're going to expect every Monday from yourself, then we're really, really looking forward to it. Sab and I really enjoyed watching that one, and the people in the comments watching this evening equally seem to enjoy it as well. So congratulations. On to Charlie. Always the bridesmaid, I think is the phrase, isn't it? It's what you doing in second position.
I don't know. For me, mentally, that's a win, because that's the first time I think I've actually had outright pace over everyone. I was getting perfect exits off all the corners. No one could get close to me really on the straights. I wasn't really under threat, maybe once or twice in the race, but I feel like I controlled it really, even though I wasn't in the lead the whole race. But once I got in the lead, I felt comfortable. I had the pace, so I'm happy with that. To be honest, it feels like a win rather than a second.
Well, it is second position, so it's a good start for you really after the podium last week as well. So it's getting back on track after that poor start in Hungary. But it took you a while to get past Hercules, and then when you did, you seemed to hold him off quite well as well. So how did you feel? We were saying that it must have felt like a killer when you picked up that 3-second penalty, knowing that you weren't really moving away from him.
It's hard because it's such a DRS train track. you can't really get away. Even if I, turn the engine up to maximum modes for a whole lap, I still wouldn't break the DRS because the slipstream is so strong. But yeah, I wasn't really too bothered. My main goal for this race was to beat John Polainen because no one's done it yet. So someone had to get in front of him.
Well, yeah, it is second position, so it's a good result for you. That's 2 podiums in a row, decent haul of points for yourself. And on to Jumpalainen, of course, won the first 2 races of the season on the podium once again, but this time in 3rd position. Absolutely crazy battle between the 2 of you, or the 3 of you, I should say, for the win of the race, and it's just that 5-second penalty for the speeding in the pit lane seemed to really kill off that opportunity of a win tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Unless I wasn't gonna get ahead and pull away from both of them, so I just tried to battle a bit, try to make my way up. But it's quite hard to get alongside someone when they have DRS and slipstream too around here. And I might have run a bit higher wings as well than Hercules, I think, because I was getting nowhere when I was behind them.
You had a couple of just looks on the outside, especially into Stowe one lap. I think all 3 of you almost went 3 wide into the corner at one point. Was there any point where you were thinking of just making a brave move, or were you quite happy just sitting there and just waiting for an opportunity?
Yeah, I don't think it was worth risking too much there, because they were always gonna be ahead on me on penalties, so wasn't gonna do any crazy sense into some corner, but try to get a run on them, get alongside them, and make something happen, but couldn't quite get them.
Well, congratulations! That is another podium, which means you stretch your lead in the championship as well. So yet to finish off the podium. Great start to the season for yourself. Just going back to the race winner, to Hercules, one more question about next week. And we head to Russia next week for the Sochi Autodrome, round 4. Is it a track that you're looking forward to? Is it a track that you think you can compete on? It's of course that long straight towards turn 1. Not that many overtaking opportunities around there. So is it one that we can look forward to perhaps a couple of brave and mad overtakes into corners we're not expecting?
The thing is, for the spectators, it's a good trick, but I'm not looking forward to it because it makes no fun. It's hard for the 2 venture tires, and yeah, it's a DRS track again. Plus, it's really hard to don't get any penalties, and yeah, so let's see. But I think I have a good pace on this track. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a fantastic result for you tonight, and hopefully we can see you on the top step of the podium next week. So yeah, thanks guys for joining us this evening. Feel free to leave us, Sab and I finish off the stream this evening and wrap up what has been an absolutely blistering 3rd round of the IRL F1 League. And Sab, that was up there with some of the best that we've commentated on, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say definitely it's the race of the season so far this season. It's definitely up there as one of the best. At one point we had 7, 8 cars all within one shot, within a second of each other. So, yeah, like I said briefly, I just didn't know who was going to win, and in the end, Hercules on his debut picked up that crucial race victory. I absolutely loved it. I'll be honest. I loved watching the battle between Harry and Speaker, and it'd been great to have heard from them this evening in here, just to get their opinions on how their race went. They battled superbly in the end for, I think it was 7th and 8th in them they finished. So they had a good race from near the back of the grid as well. So it's one of those races, like I said earlier, you just wish you could have multiple angles throughout the whole of the stream to show everything going off, because there was that much happening.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully we'll speak to those guys and get any of their quotes up on social media if any of them have had some decent sound bites for how they found their race this evening. And, yeah, but it is a top 3 tonight of Hercules, Charlie, and Jumperline. And unfortunately, Scott dropped down to, I think it was 9th position after that late spin on his own on the Except Club corner. So Scott is down the order at the moment, so he's got a bit of work to do. And equally, Sanford Pepito wasn't having the race that he was possibly looking at early on when he was leading. But look to see those guys come back strong next week, round 4 in Russia. So make sure you join Sab and I for that next Monday, 8 p.m, as always, here on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you press that subscribe button and do so. Ding the bell to be notified when we go live with any videos, because of course it's not just Monday nights, it is Tuesday with the Realistic Performance League, Wednesday with Equal Performance, IRL F1 and F2. And then, of course, on Thursdays for the next, this week, we have the Invictus F1 podcast. Sab and I recapping the Formula 1 2019 season, of course, which is just finished in Abu Dhabi this weekend. And we will be wrapping up the entire season this week, giving our grade to every driver, how they've done over this season, and every race on a whole. So that will be 8 p.m. here on YouTube, streamed live, recorded live, and then uploaded to SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes. And then we will be back in a few weeks' time for a Christmas special, and that will be us done for the season. We'll be back for pre-season testing in a few months' time. But that is us equally done for this evening. Thanks, Sab, to join us once again. It's been a fantastic time with you, and we are looking forward to equally a fantastic weeks of racing here at Invictus Racing League, and equally another great race next week in Russia as part of the IRL F1 League. So have a great week, guys. Enjoy the rest of the content, and we'll see you next week.